Obama is a Mac daddy. Obama pimps white women and black women. He got started. You didn't notice him till he brought out those big-chested white women with their tight t-shirts and their short pants. That's what a pimp does. Oh, come on. You don't get your campaign started with a big-chested white woman. She must be a 54D, double D, and a pair of shorts on. That's what started his campaign. He put his name on two big 54Ds. Obama, that's where you first saw his name. That's the first place I saw it, on two great big old tits. He's a Mac daddy. He pimps white women and black women. Obama is a long-legged Mac daddy. Black people have said, Pastor Manning, nobody's going to follow you because you've been trashing Obama. If you want black people to get with your no do no reign, your outlaw, they're not going to follow you because you've been trashing Obama. And black people love this man. And because of the way you speak about him, you can forget about your ministry. Now it's over with. Nobody's going to be on your committees. Nobody's going to walk with you or march with you, or nobody's going to be with you, Pastor Manning. But let me just say this, first of all. I haven't trashed him. I haven't trashed Obama. His African in-heat father went a whoring after a trashy white woman. He was born trash. I said he was born trash. I didn't trash him. I'm speaking the truth about him. But this half-white boy, this trashy bastard, won't even lift up his voice in defense of his mama. And the whole world knows it. More than the threat of Hillary Clinton, this mouth that you hear, this prophet that you're listening to, has got that boy worried. Because how can he, even if he did become president, how can he overcome the legacy of the truth that his mama was trashy and that he was born a bastard and thusly he's white trash and a pimp and a Mac daddy? And the Obama campaign is silent. Now somebody said to me, Pastor Manning, you playing the dozens. You get up out that street like, I'm not playing the dozens. And if I was playing the dozens, the appropriate response in the dozen game is this. When you talk about his mama, he got to talk about your mama. Oh yeah. You just don't let somebody talk about your mama and get away with it. You got to say something back. You got to defend. Get ready for the Manning Report. Those are words that are testified to by his girlfriend, 19-year-old Rachel, on the witness stand at the George Zimmerman trial on the 26th of June, the year 2013. Let's go over those words again. The words of Trayvon Martin testified to by recently, over the last 10 years, on October 16th, 1995, the false prophet Louis Farrakhan gave a call out across America for all Negro men, black men, all men, nothing but Negro, nothing but black men, to come down to Washington, D.C. And there in Washington on the 16th of October in 1995, as the day was enjoying, they were going to seek God for the plight that was plaguing the Negro. More than 100 years, 150 years had passed since slavery and the Emancipation Proclamation, and the Negro was doing worse in 1995 than he was doing in 1895 or 1865. Poverty. There were more jails and prisons since 1960. There have been more prisons built and more Negroes in jail. Nowhere on the planet do you have as many men in jail as you do in America, and they're Negroes, all Negroes, 1.2 million Negroes locked away in jail in this modern day and time in which we live. Homes are being headed by single parents, women fathers have ran off from their children. Before the 1950s, every father, every home had a man in it. But this recent time that we are now incurring, when I was praying the other day and I was asking the Lord, what is it about black men that makes them, have brought them to this point of extinction where they cannot compete on a global scale? What is it about them? And God says they have no honor. Now, there's several things that we need to understand. And here's how God illuminated that fact to me. God says, what do you think would cause a man to go into his mother's pocketbook, take his mama's last money? She don't have, he will not leave her token money to get on the train, to go to the job, to get more money, or go to the bank. What would cause a full-grown man to go in his mama's pocketbook and take her last money and shoot dope? What would cause a man to do that? Why would any man do that? Why? He will do it not because he's on drugs. That's the reason he will stay. But the reason why a man can go into his mother's pocketbook and take her last quarter and shoot dope with it is because he has no honor. Because even if you're racked by the pains of another fix, you want to get high, you got a need, and your body is suffering, honor will stop you from taking your mama's last money. Honor. Honor, if a man has honor of integrity about who he is and what he is, he will not take. He would rather suffer himself rather than to put his mama out in the cold to suffer. He will endure the pain of his own afflictions and drug addiction. But if he has no honor, he'll do it time and time and time again. He will continue to do it. Doesn't have honor. We got to restore honor back to black folk. They have no honor, no integrity. They're not honorable people. That's why you're going to call me the Honorable James David Madden. I know you got trouble with it. I know you don't like it. I know you want me to be called bishop and doctor and rabbit foot and all of that. But you are going to say honorable because I'm going to lead you to be honorable as people. You're going to be an honorable people. You're going to be restored back to honor. So we need to be clear about that as God is speaking in this generation. How can a man, young boy, use all those ugly words and his 37-year-old mama sit there in the new house he bought her and just grin while he is saying MF and this and that and the other? You mean to tell me you can listen to your son curse like that on a national scale, and just because he's bought you a new house, you are not offended by the things he said? What does that house do to you when your son has lost his soul? How do you speak to him at the Thanksgiving table when he curses that way? You have no honor, black woman. You have no honor to allow your son to curse like that just because he can buy you a new house. I'd rather live in a shanty but have an honorable son. What is it with y'all? Can you see why God has ordered your demise? Well, he bought me a new car. He's grabbing his crotch. That's your baby. That's your boy. You brought him forth. You carried him for 9 months. And now look at what he is doing to women. Don't you remember how his father walked out on you and left you to feed that baby and to buy Pampers and to make it the best way you could? Day after day you had no money. You had to kiss and spit in that baby's mouth to feed him. And now he is promoting that. How can you stand by mothers and allow your sons to rap? How can you do it? How can you do it? So the Nile River Project will be, we have to restore honor. The last thing that is thought of when you mention an African person, and especially an African American, is that he's honorable. That's the last thing. That's the last thing that you think about. They're the most dishonorable people that you can find.